time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. Cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. Man with a vision. Got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
And we welcome you to iRacing's virtual Knoxville Raceway for tonight's action for the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. Tonight it's dirt racing for the 8th round of the campaign on LSRTV and CRN Sports. I'm Justin Prince, Wesley Otland joining me in just a few moments. Charles Wooden in the production truck as we get all set to go to see 21 drivers hit the dirt here from the sprint car capital of the world. Lots of pressure for some of the drivers tonight. Lots of others looking to see if they can flex their dirt racing muscles, especially at a racetrack that can be challenging for most. Taking a look at Ryan Gormley on track as qualifying is underway for our competitors to get ready for tonight's format. Speaking of the format tonight, up to 10 heat races, 10 laps per heat race designated, or any lap feature race will have its grid set via the heat races as well, in part with the qualifying currently underway. Ryan Gormley amongst those trying to put up one of 3 laps available. Currently running in the top 5 in the 22.5s. Ryan Bloom leading the way in qualifying so far. 22.1. Dan Lowther, James Viney, Dennis Moore, and Gormley the top 5. Dennis Moore just bumping Gormley out of the top 5 now with the second lap turn by him. Amongst those also taking part tonight, Devin O'Hare looking to try and get himself up on the board. He was one of the quickest drivers in final practice earlier this evening. 22.298 put him 5th best in final practice. Speaking of points, he's amongst the 9th best in the standings entering today. Bloom leads the way in the standings over Gormley by 27 points. Dennis Moore, Toby Redders, Chris White, the top 5. See which of those drivers can find their way to the checker flag this evening. Second lap coming to the checker flag, Stephen O'Hare. Score remains around 22.3, currently the best time in qualifying for him up on the board. Now, as we continue our progression throughout the night tonight, a lot to consider when it comes to our race drivers and how they'll handle themselves around this dirt facility. The racetrack is known for being utilizing the middle top especially. with the berm at the bottom of the racetrack being easy to hit to knock drivers loose, but also as the lane progressions happen, many have been known to utilize more so the cushion to try and get the truck rolling and to try and keep the pace up as the track slickens up with more and more usage. BJ Tederick taking a look at on the racetrack. 72 machine in the 22.7s in final practice. Wesley now joining us once more for tonight's action. Lots of expectations. Already 2/3 the field putting up qualifying times. Already Ryan Bloom top of the board, no surprise.
Good evening to everybody, and yes, I love this race. Usually we do it at Eldora and Knoxville, but this year's only dirt race on the Northwest Racing Series schedule is here at Knoxville Raceway. It is known as the virtual sprint car capital of the world, unbeknownst to also the real track that is the real Knoxville Raceway in Iowa. But tonight, these drivers will battle it on the clay here in Knoxville. And you know, Justin, it's just a different race as we see Devin West, who's, by the way, won at Eldora and Knoxville in the Northwest Dirt events. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be different. It should be fun tonight.
Just talking about that should be fun with the differences between, of course, the pavement side and the dirt side. Some of the drivers who really like to slip and slide, I really love this racetrack. Devin West finishing up qualifying in the top 5 right now. But for other drivers, it's going to be a major challenge because for some, they might not have the same dirt experience. Jaden Ledbetter now hitting the racetrack, meanwhile, was in the 23 flats in final practice. That was near the bottom of the board. So this is going to be where, if you aren't comfortable with the track or with the dirt, you better figure out how to learn in the next 2 minutes.
We'll see what Jaden Ledbetter can do in that Lowe's Cobalt Chevrolet. Right now, Ryan Bloom, the quick qualifier, with a 22.13. Dan Lowther, 22.22. Kevin Smith, 22.23. Frank Harris, 22.27, as well as Devin West, who we just saw a moment ago. Ledbetter now going to have to pick her up. Gets ready to come to the line. Ledbetter will crack the top 20 in 16th on his first lap, 22.79. Here he comes down the straightaway, working into turn number 3. Off of turn 4 now. Getting ready to bring it to the stripe. We'll see what he turns. Will he improve, Justin? He will. 1 spot, put him in the top 15. Here comes Jeff Stab now. Kind of struggled in practice, Justin, but we'll see what the 24 can do down on the clock. The driver out of Billings, Montana, already up to 7th on lap number 1.
Say that he was in terms of overall time in the top 4. Sean Breisman amongst the top 10. And already noticing a major difference between Ledbetter's confidence compared to Breisman and Stabnell's confidence on the dirt. A lot more speed carried down the straightaways, a lot more confidence being able to sling the truck down. Seems to be more preferable as well in the gear selection to be able to properly get just before the chip, before they slide it back into the next corner to carry the momentum.
And Jeff Stab now sideways. Got back going again in the right direction there. Man.
Doesn't look like the third lap did count more. It did count, I should say, but it was slower. But a 22.3 is a solid starting position for the dirt track, I will say, Wesley.
Round number 8 tonight here at the dirt track at Knoxville Raceway. Let's take a look real quickly at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions leading up to today's event on the clay at Knoxville. Bottom right of the screen, 70 degrees, air temperature. Partly cloudy. It's already under the lights. We're racing at night. Wind speed between 6, 7, 8 climbing miles per hour. And the track temp, Justin, at 65 degrees. Definitely a lot cooler track temperatures than the air temperature.
That's usually a commonality when it comes to iRacing with the dirt because, well, dirt is cool to touch, in theory. So, of course, It's cooler in terms of track temperature. I've seen track temps where that dirt can go as low as the low 50s these days with some of the recent updates on the platform. But keep in mind, it's important as the night progresses to not just keep an eye on where your truck is running the best, but also how the track progresses. Because it's not like the pavement where it's the same line or maybe the same two lines that are preferential. This track is going to be constantly moving the grip around in the preferred groove as more and more buildup of slick is built towards the middle of the racetrack. Makes likely we'll see drivers move up as the night progresses.
One truck not taking time yet, Chris Kynes, I believe. Well, actually, he did take time. So everybody has taken time. All 21 drivers that are the entries for this race have all took time. Format for tonight's race includes heat races. Heat races, I think we'll have between 3 to 4 heat races. I'm thinking probably 3, 7 trucks each. And then we'll have the feature. And by the way, Charles and Justin and you and I, we were all talking about this in the box during the pre-race. Not many laps. I mean, we're not even going 100 laps here in the feature race tonight. Only 80 laps.
But there is an important caveat that was mentioned in the drivers' meeting in the final moments of it. Caution laps were described as not counting for tonight's race. So if there's a buildup of cautions, that lap total likely balloon. Only 80 laps for the feature race tonight, yes. But on the bright side, it's not 300.
Yeah, we were both kind of shaking our head and thinking to ourselves, a 300-lap race on the dirt, that would have been highly entertaining, but maybe a little bit too much. But if we're going to be running about 3 heat races, probably 15, 20 laps each, and then an 80-lap feature, I think that'll be perfect for our racing calendar. A matter of fact, do we have the racing summary for tonight? If we can put it up on the bottom left of the screen, if we've got the kind of an idea of the format of the racing program.
Well,
obviously we have been told that they'll... Go ahead, Justin.
Was about to say, to mention what I was mentioning earlier prior to you stepping on in. The heat races, there's up to 10 available. 10 laps, 10 minutes. Whatever comes first. 4 set to advance from the feature. Everyone expected to make the show tonight. However, usually how it works in iRacing is based on the car count. It will eliminate respective heats when it feels they're not necessary for the gridding process. Drivers have just gone in the advancement for the grid, so we're about to find out how many heats we'll have now on the racetrack. As a matter of fact, just 4 heats being utilized now for tonight's race. So 21 drivers divided by 4. These drivers now looking to see how they go to the racetrack tonight.
All right, so we're going to see 4 10-lap heat races and then the 80-lap feature and probably a warm-up also. There's your starting lineup for heat race number 1. Ryan Bloom will be on the pole, obviously, quick qualifier. The number 25 at Boise, Idaho. Devin West from Shelton, Washington, right there alongside in row number 1. Row 2, Stephen O'Hare in the 41. To his outside, Toby Ritters in truck number 23. Clifford. Jaden Ledbetter will start row 3 in the 36. Chris Kynes in the 20. And I believe that'll be the lineup for heat race number 1. Everybody going to the show. Honestly, the suffice to say best thing to do, Justin, you got 10 laps or 10 minutes. I would say the best thing to do here is just get out here. If you try to advance your positions in the back to the front, go for it. But if not, just go out here and just use this as an opportunity as a racing practice session to get this truck ready to go for the 80-lap feature, because everybody is going to the show tonight.
I think that's going to be the mindset here. Top 4 is still the preferred mark in terms of the bubble mark. And that's the question mark, because I think that was the original intention for tonight, but the heat count, with there being no LCQ, technically, we may actually see a bump. It's dependent on how the sim plays this out if we get 16 or 21. So, on the honest point, get some practice done. Don't do what Chris Kynes just did, as he just about spun it at a Ledbetter's door. I think he hit him. And make the top 4 to make sure you're good to go, while also making sure you feel out this racetrack and you're ready for the feature in Mid-South to go 80 laps, a long distance compared to the fresh track you have right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. 100% concur. Get out here and try to be in that top 4 just in case there is an advancement and there is that B main possibly. But if not, the more you advance your positions, the better you start. Because basically it'll be 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and so on back. Ready, pace truck is in. Ryan Bloom, Devin West, front row. Truck racing, preliminary race 1 underway. Whenever they come back down to the line, green is in the air. Boy, they took it all the way to the firebox, and we're underway here at Knoxville. And already it looked like Chris Kynes was trying to jump over the berm there. Wow.
Ritter's getting bumped out of the way by O'Hare. The battle is on for the transfer already, it appears. Ledbetter to the inside. Ritter's to the wall into the Armco barrier. Dropping all the way back to 5th. Just like that, Ritter's is out of the bubble.
Yeah, just like that, falls back to 5th. So is Chris Kynes on the outside looking in. Ledbetter right now in that 4th spot, if you will, to transfer. 9 to go. Got 1 lap in. It's Ryan Bloom out in front by himself. Here comes now O'Hare and West. They'll battle now. Single file, they go down to 3.
O'Hare amongst those looking the most comfortable on the lower lines compared to Ryan Bloom and Devin West have already moved up half a lane. O'Hare peeking down to the inside, down to the 3 and 4. Not even get alongside Devin West yet. Devin West already making a groove a little bit closer and closer towards that cushion.
Phil works their way back into the corner into 1 and 2. Trying to stay away from that Armco barrier and the berm and the fluff, if you will, ripping the lip. It's all the while to the back stretch. There goes Jaden Ledbetter. He goes around off turn 2 in front of the virtual Sprint Car Museum building off the 2nd turn. We will still stay green. Ledbetter losing ground 10, 11 seconds, maybe more. And the battle now for 2nd heats up into the corner, coming to halfway next time by.
And it's important to mention track position critical. Heat races like this can be the difference of starting up a couple rows and being in the heart of the pack. O'Hare wants to be up towards the front, slipping hard, trying to time in the corner. Devin West still able to hold on as O'Hare trying to force West up the racetrack. O'Hare still preferring the middle bottom, now into the door. West holds on for the battle to the back straightaway.
Yeah, coming after him again down to the inside, watching this battle ensue into the corner. Off of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. O'Hare and West battling now for 2nd and 3rd. Closing in on 4 to go. Ryan Bloom still the leader. Comfortably out in front by over a second. Down the straightaway. 3 to go now as they go back to 1.
And West still trying to keep O'Hare within touch. Toby Ritter's comfortable in the bubble spot. Ledbetter and Kynes already 3/4 of a track back. West hard send trying to get to O'Hare's quarter panel. Can't get there. They pass by the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame to the back straightaway. West trying to build back up the run. O'Hare starting to get a little bit bubbly down the straightaways, coming at 2 laps to go.
You know, one of the things that's absolutely confusing about Knoxville Raceway, the back straightaway looks exactly like the front stretches. Now they cross the line at 2 to go, with the exception of bypassing the big Sprint Car Museum building. The grandstanding area and the suites of the back stretch look just like on the front straightaway. Got to look for that FVP flag stand. And coming to the line this time by is Ryan Bloom. He sees the white flag. Lap truck, Chris Kynes in the way. He goes up to the Armco barrier. We got 1 to go in Heat 1 at Knoxville.
Ryan Bloom just barely avoiding lap traffic. The battle for 2nd avoids it as well. Only 1 more set of corners for Ryan Bloom to clinch it in the blue and orange truck.
Ryan Bloom off turn number 4 comes down to the line. He will win heat race number 1, the fast qualifier for win race into the CLICKIT RV Bomb Speed Chevrolet. Will take heat race number 1 here. The driver out of Boise, Idaho, again the 25, winning heat race number 1. 2nd spot will go to Devin West. 3rd to Stephen O'Hare. Toby Ritters was able to get back around Ledbetter to get back in the transfer spot for 4th. Everyone else will find their fate, whether they go to a B main or they will tag in the back of the feature. Getting ready for heat race number 2, Justin Prince has the starting lineup here at Knoxville.
On the pole for heat race number 2 in the battle for the outside front row, Dan Lowther starts the pole for this set heat. Dennis Moore starts in second with Tyra King behind them in row number 2. Also amongst those in row 2 with them is Sean Brightsman. Brightsman about 2/10 back of Tyra King in qualifying. Aaron Cooper, the last of the drivers in this heat. And to put it simply, you do not want to be in last place. After all, the bubble is 4. There are 5 trucks.
Yeah, if you do the math, I think there'll be 5 trucks for the remainder of the heat races. 6 in heat 1, and then 5, 5, and 5 the rest of the way. Here we go with Dennis Moore, ready to bring the field to the green along with Dan Lowther. Another 10 laps or 10 minutes. No caution, by the way, Justin, in heat race number 1, so that was good. 1 to go.
What I'm expecting is a good night for Dan Lowther because he showed a lot of strength in final practice. We've seen him run well towards the front of these types of tracks in the past, I've noticed as well. So I'm expecting Lowther to fight this. Dennis Moore has a strong setup, it seems. In fact, that entire respective grouping for Win Racing seems strong on the setup side, but it's still not as simple as just a setup on the dirt. You have to be a good driver on top of it. And Lowther's really propelling that truck for Team Ramrob right now.
Ready to go for another 10-lap heat race. Top 4 transfer unless we don't go to a B main. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway.
On some tire spin, Dennis Moore. Tyra King nearly turning Dennis Moore with the tire spins to the dirt. Brightsman looking to the inside already for third. Brightsman backing it up. King looking to diamond it in the Beaver State truck. Moore right in the middle top. Lowther all the way to as high as he can go. Up in the front already by 8/10.
I was going to say a much better start than what we had with the section of the tire spin by Dennis Moore. Got some company now by Sean Brightsman down to the inside. Here comes now the truck champion of last year, Tyler King, up on the outside as well. He'll drive it all the way up to the top of the Armco barrier fencing. We're working the lap in now, 9 to go, with Lowther the leader. Dan Lowther up in front, the Atlanta winner.
Dennis Moore starting to pick up the tempo, though. Lowther getting loose off the corners. Moore carrying the same speed we've seen in the last heat race from Ryan Bloom. Moore really strong into 3 and 4. Nearly smacked into Lowther, having to back up off the throttle. 7 to go.
3 laps in. There goes Lowther up on the outside, trying to get 3 different grooves started, if you will, but Lowther, Moore, and Brightsman. Here comes King now. Throw his name in the dogfight. Cooper way on the outside looking in. 3 seconds back to the top 4. Here comes now Moore, down to the inside of the driver door, looking for Lowther on the bottom. He clears him as they go back into 1. Here comes Brightsman, 3 wide in the middle for the lead.
Brightsman on the berm, in fact, trying to make it work to the next straightaway. Keeps it 3 wide. Moore presses Lowther up the racetrack. Moore now with the advantage. Lowther up into the Armco. Brightsman still going the short distance around. Brightsman showing if you can find the speed, the berm can be there. Halfway through, he's in the lead.
Sean Brightsman from 3rd, 4th to 1st. And now Lowther back to 3rd. King losing ground on the top 3. Brightsman now to the bottom. He's under attack now by Moore and Lowther. They're trying to get upon him as we go on board now with Brightsman from the rear deck lid of his truck. Look at the battle behind him going to 1, and Lowther sideways.
Lowther really struggling with the rotation now that a few laps have built up on that 63. The difference I'm noticing for Moore, though, compared to Brightsman, Moore still prefers the higher groove, still towards that cushion nearly. But Brightsman seems to have built that truck to rotate along the berm, the edge of the racetrack at the bottom, go that short distance. And while it may not be as fast for the straightaways, you gain so much time in the corners. Brightsman is gaining all the time he needs on the racetrack in those corners.
About to wrap it up here. Heat number 2 at Knoxville. The dirt race for the Northwest Racing Series presented by CLICKIT RV. Sean Brightsman in the lead. The Brights Boutique LSRTV Toyota. Originally from Puyallup, Washington, now from Tucson, Arizona. Couple of wins this year already on the series. And now he is looking to hold off Dennis Moore. Right behind him, 2 to go at the line. White flag.
And now white flag now up in the air. Brightsman looking to close it. Dennis Moore looking to try and make it a teammate 1-2 in the front row. One more chance to send it. Moore trying the higher groove. Brightsman the shorter groove. Brightsman has the edge coming out of 4.
He cannot get there. Checkered flag. Give it to Sean Brightsman. The Brights Boutique LSRTV CRN Toyota. Dennis Moore spins on the cool-down lap in turn number 2. And that's the way they wrap it up here. All right, well, there is the, talk about similarities to the real deal. That's actually the interstate adjacent to the Knoxville Raceway. Right there in downtown Knoxville. You ever get a chance, check it out, seriously. Let's go for heat race number 3. Kevin Smith from Walla Walla, Washington on the pole in the 00 to the outside. You got the 24 Ford of LSRTV CRN Jeff Stabnow from Billings, Montana. Row 2, BJ Tidrick. He's got a couple of wins on the Northwest Series and Cup. Vegas and Darlington, the 72. Don't know he's ever won a truck race. Ron Hunter right there alongside in the 30. Row number 3. John Ottenbacher by himself. He's got a teammate there with Jeff Stabnow on the front row. He's in the back. He'll start 5th. The 89 also out of Billings, Montana. Well, Justin, another 10 laps or 10 minutes. Heat races have gone by fairly well. And I'm understanding John Ottenbacher missed the heat race. Justin, you got an update for us on the 89.
Yeah, he didn't even take the grid, interestingly enough. I don't think Ottenbacher realizes the implications there. Drivers were warned they only had 1 minute to get in the trucks before the grid rolled, so I'm almost wondering if he thought it was the 2-minute mark. Cut break for Ottenbacher if I think it may go how it's looking to be for that 89 truck.
That's a devastating heartbreak for the 89. Now, can he come on track but be in the pits and be a lap down? Can he do that, or is he forfeiting his heat race now, Justin?
He can still do that, yes. He just can't enter the truck right now until it ungrazed the button, so to speak, because it's technically going to allow him, once the green flag waves, to get on the racetrack after a clock rolls. Then they'll get the go, go, go command from the pit lane. Downside, it'll be half a track to 3/4 of a track back of the field.
Gotcha. Kind of heartbreaking there for the driver of the 89. He might just forfeit this and start in the rear for the feature. We're coming to green. 8-3 underway. Boy, they take it all the way to the fireboxes. Ron Hunter is in the wall. We stay
Ron
green,
Hunter,
though.
Yeah, Hunter really smoked the tires on the dirt. Stabnow looking comfortable. Kevin Smith looking to run away. Good fire-off speed from the Win Racing trucks all night. Stabnow taking the same line we've seen earlier from Brightsman. Trying to rotate along the berm, and it looks like Kevin Smith may be trying to adapt that line, Wesley, to what was seen from Brightsman in the last heat.
And it doesn't look either that John Ottenbacher is going to enter on the racetrack and join these drivers either right now. It's a lap in. It's Smith, the leader. Jeff Stabnow second. Tidrick and Hunter, that's the way they are your top 4.
Right now, the patience game forming up for drivers. Kevin Smith to the turn 3 entry. Seeming to prefer higher up on the entries, the diamond off the corner towards the bottom of the racetrack near the berm on the exits. Stabnow preferring to wrap that berm fully around. It's still that major difference mark of preference, but also handling of the trucks. That seems to be the most what's propelling things forward. Kevin Smith, keep in mind, was just about identical in his final practice times compared to Ryan Bloom. Not a surprise to see Smith this up in front by a second already.
22:34, best lap time just turned there a moment ago by Kevin Smith, fast truck on the racetrack. 22:37 for Ron Hunter, 22:64 for Tidrick, and 22:43 now for Stabnow, who sits in second. We're coming to the cross flags here. 5 down, 5 to go. Smith the leader at the line.
This allows an opportunity to look at some of the preferences too. Tidrick is trying to match up some of the lines, just doesn't seem to have that same rotation some of the others, and also has the same gearing, it seems, compared to Ledbetter. Stabnow, we've seen with similar to Brightsman, prefers that berm. Kevin Smith almost prefers that diamond line more than anything else in 3 and 4. Goes a little bit lower in 1 and 2. But keep in mind, the slick is really developing, and that's going to be a major indication for the feature race tonight. Who's going to be comfortable as that line progresses, as Kevin Smith misses the entire bottom of the racetrack.
Three to go at the line. Kevin Smith, CLICKIT RV, Bomb Speed, Wind Racing, Chevrolet out in front. Also, West Coast Auto Sales on the side of the machine also. Leading, Stabnow, second for Team LSRTV in his Ford. Tidrick is third. Hunter back in fourth. They're going to come out of the line. It is 2 laps to go. And with the exception of Ron Hunter slamming the wall down on the start, hitting that Armco barrier, he's 7.5 seconds back to the top 3. 2 seconds back to the leader, Kevin Smith. And Justin Prince, he's coming out of turn number 4 to the white flag and 1 to go in heat number 3.
Kevin Smith up by 2 seconds, looking to close things out. Looking a little unstable as he rides the top of the berm. However, Jeff Stabnow not able to take advantage, only picking up half a tenth off the corner exit. Smith dominating his way through this heat, coming out of the final corner looking for the checker flag.
Kevin Smith down to the line, the driver out of Walla Walla, Washington. Hoping that nobody is going to be on Fortnite tonight. Taking heat race number 3. Kevin Smith getting it done. And BJ Tidrick along with Jeff Stabnow, all those drivers there going in to the dance, as well as Ron Hunter. All right, one more heat race number 4. Justin, you got the starting lineup, brother.
Starting lineup for the final heat race on the night. Frank Harris starts on the pole for this heat, setting a time of the 2:20 in the 22.2s in qualifying. The Catman James Vining starts alongside in the 333. Row 2, we kept an eye on Ryan Gormley starting off qualifying. Gormley finished up 3rd in this respective heat for the qualifying grid. Roy Grande starts 4th. Last driver set to start this respective heat did not elect to take the heat races though. Scott Hutchinson backing out from the racetrack just prior to the start of the heat races. So everybody, well, seems to be secure to advance. It's all down to where they start the race tonight, whether it's 4th, whether it's all the way back as far as 16th or so.
So there's the lineup. Heat race number 4 getting set, prepared, and ready to go. Give them a moment to get their preliminary lap out of the way. And then we'll be ready to turn them loose here. Another 10-lap heat race. 10 laps or 10 minutes the distance. And again, we will be determining from there if there will be a last chance race or if they're going to go right into the feature, which is what we are planning for. And I'm understanding there will not be a last chance qualifier. There will be a 5-minute warm-up, and then we go right into the 80-lap feature. So no last chance qualifier. So everybody, even though you didn't make the top 4, you're going to the dance. And that's a mulligan for a guy like John Odenbacher. Field comes to the line. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Heat number 4, final preliminary, Justin underway. And Frank Harris, the legend, gets a big jump on the start.
Vining with a big jump out of 2, though, trying to use the top of the racetrack to power his way around Frank Harris. Harris slides up, Finding on the cross, coming out of 4. Bobbles it around on the slick. Both of the drivers up in the front getting loose as they slip and slide through the slick on the front stretch.
Opening lap, give it to Frank Harris. James Vining right there behind him in the pink and green Toyota 333, the Catman. Roy Grande sits in third. All these drivers there with Ryan Gormley, by the way, who picked up the win last week at Dover Motor Speedway in the trucks. He's now settling in down to the inside. All that's going on is they sent it again off into turn number 1.
Doesn't look like either of the front runners are very stable in the midst of things. Vining really loose, Harris really loose. Here comes Grande looking for second. He looks fairly stable. To the inside, down the front straightaway, 7 laps to go. Vining nearly makes contact, slips up all the way to the cushion. Grande runs at the edge of the slick as Frank Harris is on the berm and spinning up the track. He crashes in the wall.
Yeah, that's one of those drivers that, man, what might have been for Frank Harris, falling back now to third, maybe fourth. Ryan Gormley passes him. 6 laps to go, 1 to halfway. And now the Aero Kinetics team, eSports number 18, Roy Grande up in front, holding off Vining on the back straightaway, going to 3.
This might be one of the best races Roy Grande has had in the past couple years, looking to close things forward. Roy Grande, 23rd in the point standings entering the night, looking for a heat race victory. Vining looking to rip it away, under 5 laps to go. They head to the back straightaway. Grande trying to hug the berm in the midst of the corners. Vining trying every line. Everyone else isn't in.
Yeah, shade to the hourglass, running short, halfway home, 5 down. Now make it 4 to go when they come to the line. And all the while, he's now driving the Armco barrier, getting sideways, getting loose. Grande, dirt track set off the clay here at Knoxville. Vining tries to make a move down to the inside of the bump and run, and he couldn't clear him going to the backstretch.
Grande still trying to play defense. Ryan Gormley now out of the race after issues down the front straightaway. Vining trying to run the bottom of the circuit. Grande coming to 3 laps to go, trying to hold things off in the air with a Kinetics machine. It's been bounced around several times throughout the season. Grande, though, quietly 2 top 10s, looking to get himself a top 5 starting position.
3 laps to go now, 2 laps to go when they come storming off of turn number 4 down to the start-finish line. It's Roy Grande. New team, Aero Kinetics eSports, leading the way, looking for his first heat race win or first big win of the year. He now is on the backstretch, looking for the white flag into turn 3.
There is damage on Roy Grande that's affecting the drive up, it seems, off the right front. We've talked about that so much on how it handles things. Grande still pulling away from Vining despite that, though. White flag is out. Final time around as Grande looks to close it, heading to the back straightaway, up by 9/10.
Final time, working backstretch into turn number 3. Roy Grande is going to get himself probably one of the best starting positions he's had all year. 4th, he comes to the line. He will win heat race number 4 at the checkered flag. He'll hold off James Vining, Ryan Gormley, and Frank Harris the rest of the rundown here when it's all said and done. How about that, Justin, for Roy Grande, man? Gotta definitely hype him up there.
I think that's an understatement because he's quietly had some solid runs. It's been just the trouble of staying out of the mayhem, it seems sometimes. Indeed, his best starting position since Texas. In fact, better than Texas when he started 7th. Now he gets to see he can hold it up in the race in of itself as he had some solid pace after the mistake from Harris.
It says that there's about 9.5 minutes left to go in this warm-up session. It's probably going to be about 5 minutes. So these drivers going to get the final opportunity to work around the half-mile clay here at Knoxville Raceway. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification on CRN, the Community Radio Network, and we're going to go side by side for a commercial break for iRacing on LSRTV. The 80-lap A-Main feature is next from Knoxville Raceway.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And the clock is ticking to the warm-up session before these drivers get ready to turn them left and right. You're going to hear words from Justin and I like slide job, crossover, the berm, ripping the lip, the fluff, catfishing on the bottom, the cushion, and many more. Justin, I love the dirt track analogies. We only do it dirt one time a year for the Northwest.
I don't think I've heard the analogy of the catfishing before, but I am intrigued to learn about that. Go ahead.
Catfishing is just a dirt racing description of single file on the bottom of the racetrack. You're catfishing on the bottom.
You mean running on the berm. So as simple as that. So we'll see how many drivers pick that up and become catfish, or which drivers elect to try and be top feeders in terms of feeding on that cushion and rim riding along that edge of the racetrack. We've seen a lot of different preferences, some preferring the middle top, some preferring the bottom. It's really the mixture, though, of how the drivers play on itself as they continue to just work this circuit in, make sure it's ready to go for tonight's feature. Try and get the preferred lines ready to go with some slick built up.
Well, welcome back to coverage on iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. Sorry to clear my throat, man. It's been a very busy week. Hey, by the way, don't forget Community Radio Network tomorrow, in addition to our iRacing broadcast coverage here tonight from Knoxville. We've got the final week of regular season conference play before the run to the state playoffs, and that will be looking like both teams will be in state for baseball and softball. But anyhow, tomorrow, doubleheader, we've got baseball and softball against South Garner from Clayton. That'll be again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Community Radio Network, 87.9 FM. And we are CRN.com, and of course, back at Wednesday night for the trucks. Tonight, it's the Xfinity cars at Dover. Yes, Miles the Monster. Gonna be ripping up on those drivers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's go time here at Knoxville. 80 laps, caution laps don't count. The lineup goes like this. And your first two rows are your heat race winners. Ryan Bloom on the pole. Sean Brightsman on the outside, row one. Row two, Heat 3 and 4 winners, Kevin Smith and Roy Grande. Row number 3, Devin West in the 5, Dennis Moore in the 44. Row 4, you're going to find Jeff Stabnow and James Viney. Top 10, JP, you're going to see them. Stephen O'Hare, Tyler King, the champion of last year, starting 10th.
11th spot tonight, getting the viewpoint from those Beaver State Racing trucks. In front, it's Tidrick alongside Frank Harris to crash in his heat race. Starting behind in row 7, it's Toby Ritters in 13th, and Lowther, who started up on the front of his heat after incidents, finishing in 14th for the starting spot. Ron Hunter was scheduled to start in 15th starting spot. He has missed the starting grid. Meanwhile, Ryan Gormley set to start alongside. Jaden Ledbetter in turn moving up a row, originally slotted for row 9 alongside Aaron Cooper. Meanwhile, rowdy up the grid, John Ottenbacher. Originally, Scott Hutchinson was to be slotted 20th. He has not made the start tonight, however. Chris Kynes will be the last starter of the race.
There's your lineup. Getting ready for the feature. The lights are off for the pace truck. 21 drivers ready to make about one more lap before the start. This should be a good one. Remember, 80 laps, 80 green flag laps. Caution laps do not count. Pace truck is in. Truck, yeah! Monday night, slinging dirt in Knoxville. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race and we're underway. And they're wrecking already on the front straightaway.
Eric Cooper around right. Leaders going down the back straightaway. The fireworks going off around the racetrack. Still, welcome to iRacing, where fireworks go off during green flag runs. Bloom running away from side by side for second. Wrightsman and Smith in that midst of the battle. Also fighting with them, Devin West, as they make their way around for the start of lap 2.
Shades of mimicking what is the Knoxville Nationals whenever they shoot the pyro off with a green flag, and then of course at the end when they come to the checkered flag. And right now the pyro settles, the fireworks are on track. No, it's not. They're still shooting pyro in the air. Oh my goodness. Ryan Bloom leading, Kevin Smith, Sean Wrightsman, Devin Weston. We've got a big battle going on now as O'Hare is under attack by Grande as the smoke settles in the back straightaway.
Caution is out. Front straightaway, Chris Kynes, John Ottenbacher around in the battle for about the back of the field. But it's under yellow for the first time. And it was the battle for 17th position that brings out the yellow right as the fireworks go off.
They're still shooting pyro. I mean, what the world? Oh, there's the accident there. Look out, Aaron Cooper on the binders. By the way, remember these drivers are given one fast repair as pertained in the drivers meeting and all the information on the event. In addition to that, if need be, Justin, we will have 3 attempts in overtime for a green-white check.
John Brightsman confirming from the race control booth just now that if we get back-to-back caution flags, we will go to single file, trying essentially set up a green flag run after that regard. So, have to keep an eye on how this plays out. Frank Harris, Ryan Gormley, John Ottenbacher, no surprise, coming in to get respective repairs into fast repairs before we get back underway. But the toughest thing about the caution part again is caution laps do not count. If you get enough caution flags, eventually you'd have to fill the truck up. Outside of that, it's a track position game because, well, put it politely, the tires currently don't wear as much compared to the pavement on the dirt. It's been a talking point in the iRacing notes for the past few weeks on the website of iRacing.com.
By the way, before we get back for the restart, bottom left of the screen, Virginia 811. Callbeforeyoudig.com caution summary. 1 caution already. Caution laps don't count. Lead changes have not changed with Ryan Bloom, the man ready to bring them back to the green flag. That's again presented by Virginia 811, reminding you, call before you dig. Pace truck's in. We're back underway. Well, I'll tell you what, JP, they take it all the way to the start box, to the flag stand, before they throw the green flag and come back to speed here in Knoxville.
Really tight restart zone compared to some of the other tracks as Ryan Bloom makes his way around the racetrack on the top side. Brightsman boxed in. Kevin Smith looking to the bottom of the berm. Down the front straightaway. In the flag stand, Smith still trying to clear. Brightsman preferring the top grooving. Dennis Moore and Devin West joining the fray in that fight for second as Brightsman clears for now.
Field working their way back off into the corner again with Ryan Bloom, the leader. Brightsman up on the outside now. He's up in the top of the racetrack, if you will. Gonna have his teammate right there with him, Devin West, a former winner here at Knoxville. Kevin Smith says, I'll do it on my own. Catfishing on the bottom of the racetrack. Clears those trucks of Brightsman and West as they work again off turn number 4.
Let's try to figure out where to go. Still catfishing around the bottom of the racetrack is Smith. Devin West getting alongside Smith now. Smith trying to clear on by to hold on to third. Still, all of them allowing Ryan Bloom to start to waltz away as they make their way down the back straightaway, more nearly into the back end of Devin West.
Working out lap number 6 of 80. Smith inside, trying to get back to the team LSRTV trucks of Brightsman and West. Meanwhile, O'Hare is right there, trying to also get in the battle. His teammate for Win Racing, Dennis Moore. For Smith, they can't catch him, and Ryan Bloom for Win Racing's gone on his own world into one.
Ryan Bloom showing that comfortability, being able to control the clean air. O'Hare amongst those trying to find a way around Moore. Contact down to the flag stand. Up through turn 1. O'Hare right in the midst of the slick, still finding a little grip for now. Moore, a lot of dry dirt to work with as they make their way through part of the shuttle round down the back straightaway.
On the dirt here at the Knoxville Raceway, one time a year for the best drivers of the virtual Pacific Northwest. Oh my goodness, Jeff Stabnow about riding the arm code barrier going into turn number 1. What a save there for the 24 there, Justin.
And Jeff Stabnow really fighting with it, trying to hold on to that truck in the midst of the fight for 7th on back. Already significant back end damage. Nowhere to go quite yet as they make their way up to turn 1. Stabnow just waiting to watch. King going for the slight job. Moore helps move him up the back of the racetrack. Side by side still.
Look at him right there in this battle. Fighting, clawing his way in there with Dennis Moore. And the Moore battle to the inside with King as well. Lowther wants to close into that battle too. Wow, what a show we're seeing here now. With Bloom, the leader. 3 wide, Jeff Stabnow like a hot dog flying right out of the bun in the middle. Splits between Lowther and Moore. He goes to the inside now, Justin. We're about 10 laps in.
The 68 laps to go at the flag stand. Stabnow holding off Lowther for the time being, back up to the top groove. Still working their way around the circuit, trying to utilize the multiple different lines. Lowther amongst those preferring the berm, trying to find a way to catfish. All well, Stabnow trying to find a way towards that cushion nearly. Only Devin West willing to go all the way up to the edge of the barriers, it seems, to go to that very top groove in that cushion.
14 of 80 laps right now. Again, usually in the past, Justin, we've had stages in these races where they used to have 3 separate stages and they throw a caution. Not tonight. Usually the races are also between 100 to 150 laps. Not tonight. 80 laps, caution laps do not count. And up to 3 attempts at a green-white checker. Ryan Bloom, the leader. There's Devin West, Sean Brightsman, Stephen O'Hare. That's for P2. 3 trucks going at it now back into turn number 3.
And it looks like Brightsman and O'Hare are following in Devin West's foot tracks, trying to see if that line continues to try and pay any dividends. The interval test says no. Right now, back by 0.2 per corner. Ryan Bloom, running a different line, has been able to pull off and away by running 1 lane lower compared to West and Brightsman along with O'Hare. These drivers preferring that higher up groove though, as Brightsman starts to move back down towards his happy spot from the heat race.
Knoxville Raceway measured in at half a mile. 80 laps is 40 miles the distance. They're closing out on lap number 20, which will be about 10 miles so far completed in a few more laps. Ryan Bloom, the leader. West in second. Brightsman third. Look at Ritters now. This is in the top 15 and 12. Trying to get to Tidrick, trying to get to Grande to crack the top 10, the big red 23.
Toby Ritters of Unstill's dealing with significant front end damage. Have to be careful about the temperatures with how close some of these drivers are to the chip and how hot some of the trucks can in turn be with some of the dirt buildup as this race goes on. All of this as well. BJ Tidrick is trying to set things up right in front from Roy Grande. On board, Toby Ritters into the wall once again, starting to lose ground in that battle for the top 10 spot.
Roy Grande again had a pretty good solid starting position, now falling back to 10th, trying to hold off the likes of Tidrick and Ritters, running him down. This battle of cat and mouse continues for the top dozen spots as they work their way again off of turn number 4. Back to the line. We are 10 miles in, 20 completed.
Slowly but surely, these preferred lines could eventually pay dividends for some. Lap traffic starting to move out of the way like Chris Kynes. 17 still in the lead lap for the time being. Being about B16. Slide job. Toby Ritters trying to get around Tidrick. Tidrick with a crossover side by side with the clean truck to the inside, the damaged truck to the outside.
Let's give you the rundown right now as it stands. We're at least the top 10. Ryan Bloom, the leader. Devin West in second. Sean Brightsman third, Stephen O'Hare fourth, Kevin Smith top 5 as Lowther and Stabnow battle going on to the top 10. Bottom 5, King, Moore, Stabnow, Lowther, Grande, they're in turn number 3.
Well, Grande holding on to the top 10 Ritters. Tidrick amongst the top 12. Jeff Stabnow looking to hold on to the 8th spot. Now they're losing tons of ground though over rotating. Stabnow able to build up a cushion, build up a buffer time at least by 3 truck lengths. We get a breathing space before the halfway mark of this race.
Trying to somehow just continue on, if you will, to the best of our abilities to the finish of this thing here. And right now, 1/4 of the way through, just a few moments ago in this dirt race here at Knoxville. Right now, the leader is still Ryan Bloom. He's been the man to the front, driving the top of the berm. In the cushion's gonna be now, ripping the lip of Stephen O'Hare. Brightsman clears him, that's for third.
Brightsman O'Hare have been fighting for a little while now, it seems. Kevin Smith dropping back as this race has progressed, for comparison's sake. Brightsman preferring the cushion. O'Hare trying to keep a little bit of distance compared to the wall. Brightsman over-rotates to the back straightaway. O'Hare closing within a truck length yet again. Still not able to fully take advantage quite yet. Lap traffic is ahead, possibly to utilize. John Annenbacher is up the road. Is trying to use the top as one driver is in. It's Aaron Cooper.
Aaron Cooper going behind the wall here. In the 71, we'll find out the update on his truck. Right now, we still continue to stay under the green flag as Devin West almost in the fence on the Armco barrier out of turn number 4. He's in second. There is a gaggle of trucks behind him there. Brightsman, O'Hare, Smith, King, Moore, Lowther, take your pick. They're coming after him out of turn number 2.
They're losing a little tiny bit of ground to get around Annenbacher. Kevin Smith the next step to get around. Brightsman, though, again the diamond line. Trouble coming out of turn 4 for the caution as Kynes has stopped on the racetrack. Caution is out. The 20 of Chris Kynes was he stopped on the wall in turn 4.
Just about 12 laps away from halfway. Lap 28, second caution here at Knoxville. A look at the replay for those listening on radio. Justin, what you got for us? What happened?
Just simply got loose, and I think he said enough's enough. Stopped the truck to pull out and tow the truck in the middle of traffic, mind you, as it was zipping on the bottom. And because of there being other competitors around, that has triggered a caution right before the halfway mark of this race. 52 or so laps to go. And this is exactly what the race leader did not want to have happen. Ryan Bloom was lapping trucks in fast prior to the caution.
Justin, I wonder, pit road, are they going to come down to the pits, or do you think they could make it in an 80-lap feature run?
Frank Harris might have to join the pits because he just crashed into the barrier and is stuck in the wall. The 11 truck right now is stopped in the wall out at the bottom of the racetrack along the pit entry. Again, the number 11 truck, if we can head towards that direction, is stuck in the Armco, has just had to tow it. So a tough break for Harris as he was trying to catch the field and nearly rammed in the back end of a few trucks and crashed to the Armco barrier. Of note, Ottenbacher is getting a wave around here under this caution to get a lap back. But outside of that, not expecting scheduled stops, unless you have destroyed the truck.
They are given one fast repair. And if you don't know what a fast repair is, it basically means that you're allowed to get your truck completely back to 100%. Nobody in the front pit, so at least John Ottenbacher getting the wave around, or the free pass, if you will. No one else taking the wave around because the leaders did not pit. And we will settle them up here for a restart already, Justin. They're getting 2 by 2. We're not wasting no time. 27 laps in. Lap 28 when they come back to the restart zone. Pace trucks in. We're coming to green here. Back underway.
Early launch this time for Ryan Bloom. Devin West moving up to the top quickly, trying to settle things forward. Wrightsman still not being able to sort things forward, though. Hare side by side for the third spot. King watching in the popcorn seat. As the battle is on for the lead, Devin West is closed up to Bloom's bumper, looking to try and take advantage of the restart.
There was one, there was two, now there's 3 trucks. West, O'Hare, Wrightsman. They have all reeled in the leader, Ryan Bloom. He's under attack, and here comes even more traffic trying to run him down as they conga line in speed up to the racetrack wall into 1 and 2.
They're really up the racetrack. A lot of these drivers starting to try and avoid that slick. Look at how shiny that bottom of the racetrack is. Lots of drivers want to stay out of it. Hearing Dennis Moore is bouncing the wall. We stay going, though, in the heart of the pack.
Bloom, the leader, up on the top, ripping the lip, if you will. He's got Wester right there behind him, trying to get another cushion started, another racing groove here on the clay at Knoxville. Another thing that we really didn't hint on either, Justin, was the fact that the track surface would continue to adapt through the practice, through the qualifying, through the heat races, obviously, and now to the feature. As we approach halfway, a lot of rubber being put down on the racetrack right now.
And that's the major thing, too. And that's the major test as well as a driver. Because you can be very quick on a fresh track, but not quick on a very used track. At 100% state, as iRacing would describe it, for example. Others are inverse. But here's the thing, to decide a race winner, it usually comes down to who's most comfortable with the track most utilized. Ryan Bloom, Devin West, the most comfortable currently. Up in the wall, Dennis Moore, not quite so comfortable. Right now in the 44 and 7.
I've always said that these races right now show the character of who the driver is and who can negotiate and make it happen. Obviously, you've got craters and you've got rubs and you've got the track really drying, slicking off, if you will, or drying up, rubbering up. You'll see more dust because of that. And in the heat races, there was more of a tacky surface for the most part. We're approaching halfway. Dennis Moore getting loose in front of Stab now. That's the battle going on for 7th and 8th. And the leader, Ryan Bloom, battles West again as he's in the Armco barrier, sliding through the wall to make the room on Bloom at a turn 2.
Devin West trying to peel Bloom off the wall from that. Wet, pushing hard all the way up to the Armco again, into the wall. Bloom trying to figure out how to defend things. West, drag race to the stripe. Lead lap still going the way of Bloom by 4 1/1000ths. West trying to touch that right rear quarter panel up to the wall. ripping the top side for the race lead for the first lead change of the day.
Up in the top shelf for Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa. Look at this. Bloom says, I'll follow along. They're ripping the lip to the Armco barrier. West and Bloom 1 and 2. Now's trying to come to halfway as West is the man out in front of the 5. He's won here before. He's won at Eldora. He's won at Bristol on dirt. He's got it done in the 5. And by the way, Justin, he's also a real dirt modified racer from Shelton, Washington.
It kind of shows on the long run. 41 laps to go. West really starting to set sail. Coming 2:41 to go, should say. Down the back straightaway, the gap, the largest been now for West, up to 8/10. Bloom led by as many as 4 seconds prior to the caution flag. How the tides can change over the course of one caution period and a restart.
All of the transpiring, man. All this going on as we're coming to halfway now. This time by out of turn number 4 when they come to the line. It'll be cross flags in the air. 40 down and 40 to go. Let's give you the full field rundown, Justin. Devin West, the leader. Ryan Bloom, second. Stephen O'Hare, third. Chuck Weitzman, fourth. Tyler King, the top 5. Then it's Kevin Smith in the sport. Jeff Stabnow, Dan Lowther, James Vining, top 10 at halfway.
11th spot, Toby Redders up from 13th. BJ Titterick in the 12th spot. Roy Grante in 13th with one of the few cleaner trucks on the track. Jaden Ledbetter in 14th. John Anbacher tailing the lead lap, currently 15th. Frank Harris 1 lap down at 16th after a crash under caution. Ryan Gormley's 2 laps down at 17th. Your DNFs are Chris Kynes and Aaron Cooper. Your DNSs, Ron Hunter and Scott Hutchison.
Yeah, just a couple of those drivers that made the attempt to try to start, but then decided to call it a night here at virtual Knoxville. After halfway, he's Justin Prince, I'm Leslie Outlet, Charles Wooten doing a phenomenal job getting the action on the half-mile clay of the virtual sprint car capital of the world, nestled in downtown city limits on Knoxville, Iowa. And this is a battle now. Heating up for 8th and 9th. It's Stabnow and Lowther. They continue to go at it on a turn 4.
Now they're trying to find a way around Stabnow. They have stayed pretty close all night long. Stabnow losing balance coming out of turn 2. Lowther trying to keep his balance, nearly spins it out. Able to keep it out of the wall though. Lowther having to regroup to catch Stabnow again after avoiding the contact.
35 to go when they come back to the line. All the while, we're about now 20 miles, over 20 miles into this race. This race again, 80 laps of distance, 3 attempts of the green-white checker. Caution laps do not count so far. 2 yellow flags in the race. Look at them now battle. Brightsman, O'Hare, King. This is for third behind the leaders.
Weitzman has been under attack for a while from O'Hare, but O'Hare attacks the wall. O'Hare going way over the cushion. Here comes his teammate Kane. O'Hare able to still rip on the top side 3 wide. Rips his way up to third. Brightsman now tries to hold off King. King nearly hits Smith entering the corner. Brightsman back to the top. Kane nearly to the back of Brightsman. Smith ripping the bottom of the wall with the fish as a truck is stopped below the berm. Frank Harris is sprinting the caution out in the 11 truck once again.
Caution out over the speedway. Trouble on the number 5. We'll slow him down. The caution out for Devin West. He's the leader.
Yep.
Not anymore, though. Oh, let's see what happened to Devin.
But this is Frank Harris. That's the caution actually. On his own, loops it. Here's where the issue is. Gasses it up, brings it right across the racetrack, and brings the caution out. And he might be in a spot where he will have to find a way to fix significant damage because he already used the fast repair after getting stuck in the Armco barrier on the inside of the racetrack after the last caution.
Devin West
What, he
fans,
spun
my
it again?
apologies. Oh, yeah, he did. Devin West fans, my apologies. I said he was the cause of the caution. I was looking at the scoring ticker, and it goes cattywampus when the yellow flies, and I saw O'Hare jump up in there as the new leader. Yeah, it was the 11 of Frank Harris while we're under yellow flag. And Justin, my question is this. Under 35 laps to go, is anybody coming to the pits, or is it all about track position right now?
You're not coming down to the pit lane for a stop unless we run so many caution laps that you're out of gas. So at this point, it's more so the thought process of how are you going to regroup mentally in terms of how you're going to take this restart. Devin West, for the first time, now going to be in control of a restart. Ryan Bloom mixed it up a little bit on his start points. Where does Devin West play it? That's different from driver to driver. And keep in mind, Sean Brightsman working in that respective grouping as well. Starting fourth, this could help Brightsman if it's timed up, as we've got an extended yellow here.
Ryan Gormley looks like he's going to get the free pass. Put the 22 back on the lead lap. Obviously the winner last week at Dover.
Yeah, that was impressive from him because he was showing speed in the 1.5 miles when he kept it clean. Kept it clean at Dover to close it out there. Tonight, a different story. It seems as though dirt is not his forte. I mean, it's not my forte in terms of racing. Bouncing.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget, next week we're at Darlington. 2 weeks we're at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway. Charlotte, Memorial Day weekend on May 22nd. We are officially off on Memorial Day weekend, which is good for me because I actually have real racing obligations on Memorial Day weekend. All that coming up in the next 3 weeks, but we got to decide this one here at the dirt race at Knoxville. Only time this year. They're back to green in the Geico restart zone. And I think the fireworks are about to start happening. 3 wide. Look at O'Hare in the middle.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Toby Ritter is getting turned around to the heart of the pack. BJ Tidrick, Roy Grande, James Vining, Frank Harris all around in turn 2.
Big one. Big one. The big one.
And not only burns 1 lap off the board, James Vine is behind all of this. Again, it's Toby Ritter's getting turned around.
Oh, man. Tough break for Clifford. Let's see this again. Oh, there it is. Right there in the middle left of your screen. Roy Grande in the fence. Audenbacher, Tidrick, Gormley, Harris, Vining. Yeah, that was the big one there, Justin.
It was a slowly developing big one. But it was a big one nonetheless in terms of contact you can have at a dirt track off a restart. Now it's the matter, though, regrouping again. Now it's important to mention, if it comes down to cautions, precautions, 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 we have 48 minutes to get the race in. If we somehow manage to go...
Precautions or breed cautions?
Read cautions.
I know.
So, yes, in terms of, if we get 20 cautions, time will become a factor.
I hope not. Let's take a look, by the way, real quickly at the caution information summary as we're about 8 laps past halfway. It's presented by Virginia811.com. Dig with care. Call before you dig. 4 cautions, 1 caution lap. I don't know how that happened because caution laps are not supposed to count. Lead changes 1. That's when, of course, Ryan Bloom got passed by Devin West. And nobody has got around the 5 just yet.
Make it interesting for this restart, though. About 33 laps to go. Good start from West last time. It's the question mark of, can he do it again with the pace truck off here?
Devin West ready. Ryan Bloom alongside. Back to the line. Green flag. 32 laps to go when they come back. And look at this, trucks, 4 or 5 trucks fight for the lead. Brightsman threading the needle on the bottom from the top. Brightsman after O'Hare. And while that goes on, they're slamming the wall. The leaders are blooming west. He got it again on the whole shot. And they're coming to the line. And yep, so much for that. Caution's out. Your cautions breed cautions theory is 2 times true, JP.
Believe the trigger is BJ Tidrick. Yes, indeed. The 72 spun around with contact from Ryan Gormley. And exactly, cautions breed cautions. Like we're going to go to single file from here on out because of the spin for the 72 truck.
Well, man, oh man, Tidrick in the 72 now. And, okay, so here's the deal. Justin, they went 2 times with a restart, 2 by 2 by 2. Gotta wonder if the race director is going to make them go single file this time.
I mean, that was mentioned from race control after the first caution, mind you. Expecting that command, or that command should have already been put through here, waiting for that. On the bright side, if you're a Frank Harris fan, guess what? He's back in the lead lap after losing the lap initially, after driving into the wall under caution.
The legend Frank Harris going to get the free pass. Remember, caution laps do not count in this race. Up to 3 attempts at a green-white checker. Nobody has pitted yet, except for drivers that were wrecked out or had damage earlier. Justin, you pretty much said it ain't about tires. It's about trying to conserve fuel. Are we possibly looking at the fuel gauges getting low?
Give it another 50 pace laps, and then we'll worry about fuel.
All right. Well, they're in turn number 4, back to the line. Green flag back in the air. 31 laps to go. Here, 4 wide for the lead. Are you kidding me? O'Hare, Brightsman fall back. West battles back with Bloom on the inside, and Smith is going to come right there into the bottom and go with him.
Brightsman really wants to hold off O'Hare for third. No, he loses third. In fact, fourth, O'Hare able to zip by. Kevin Smith having to back off. Everybody ripping the cushion now except for 1 or 2 drivers. Few drivers clattering against the Armco and bring the caution. It's John Annenbacher who spins it. BJ Tidrick again around in the 72 as well.
Annenbacher, Tidrick, caution out for the 6th time here at Knoxville. Let's go back to Justin Prince with 30 to go, by the way.
This is right after the 1 lap complete after the restart. Annenbacher trying to wrap the bottom of the racetrack prior to that point. Just too much rotation. BJ Tidrick finishes the rotation. Tidrick goes all the way to the Armco for good measure. He is done for the night in the 72.
72 out. 89, how much damage he's got. And another caution coming out here. Boy, oh boy. We're not finished yet. 30 laps to go exactly. Hey, by the way, don't forget, Wednesday night, we've got doubleheader coverage on the iRacing on LSRTV. 9 o'clock Eastern time. Alex Robinson and myself will be back with you for 2nd round of what is the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Robinson Promotions Super Late Model Road to Pro qualifying series, or qualifying series, kind of like the eNASCAR Road to Pro. And I think they call it that. But anyhow, they're going to be at Volusia this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Followed that, Jason Rockefeller and myself will be with the Northwest CLICKIT RV Fixed Setup Series at Miles the Munster virtually Dover Motor Speedway. We'll see what those cars can do. We saw the trucks last Monday night with, of course, Ryan Gormley winning. And now we'll try this again, Justin. All right, man, 30 laps to go. Lights off for the pace truck. They're gonna not go single file again. We've had 3 or 4 cautions in a row where we've had accidents repeatedly. Cautions, precautions, as you say. And they're gonna keep them 2 by 2. Pace truck about to drop onto the pit lane. 30, make it 29 laps to go. Justin, we're coming to green out of 4.
Ryan Bloom already trying to play some games. Everybody trying to time it. Devin West off and away. Ryan Bloom, not so much. O'Hare jumps up to second. 1 spin to the bottom of the racetrack. Caution is out.
Oh. Heartbreak. Jeff Stabnow, Dennis Moore. 29 to go, and they wreck each other going into turn 1 on the restart.
Well, we played some restart games. Guess what? Everybody didn't get a chair in the restart game. Yeah, restart games are not fun. Dennis Moore in the midst of the stack up, turning around with Stabnow sliding up. And that brings up the caution. Of note, though, Toby Ritter's just up the road from this after the yellow flag, ran to the back of James Vining trying to get his spot back for some reason.
Boy, oh boy, man. Well,
it's not an easy track.
This is definitely gone from a pretty good drive in the beginning of things to now cautions breed cautions. As Justin, I hate to say it, I think he jinxed us.
I didn't jinx it. I think, again, it's the type of racing or racetrack where if you bunch things up and have caution, precaution, it can trigger these caution scenarios like this. And we've seen that tonight. So we'll have to see how this goes again. Already quickie cautions in effect. We're already taking the one to go. Frank Harris might have just stayed in the lead lap there. He has pit several times for repairs. And we'll see how its scoring plays out because Devin West has been having a wild start. Or wild sequence of starts.
That's right. We'll try this again. Here they come to the line. Green flag in the air. 29 to go. And O'Hare smacks the Armco barrier. Bottles back with Brightsman. Bloom on the inside. West will follow. Those trucks battle door to door. 3 wide. Obo's behind him for 3rd. Down the back straightaway they go to 3. Bloom stuck on the bottom. Outside lane might come to work. Ripping the lip. Ripping his truck to pieces is West, but he got back to the lead out of 4.
Devin West gained time, if anything, from ripping the wall. Trouble in the middle of turn 3. No caution. Jeff Stabnow with a broken truck. Toby Ritter's also involved, as well as a couple others. We stay green as we work our way through the cushion. Stabnow already having to come to the pit lane with significant damage from a crash that does not burn a caution out for half the field.
Walking across the line now, closing in on 25 to go now, ready for the home stretch of this race. Down the back straightaway. West the leader. Here comes now Bloom. Bloom with O'Hare. Brightsman. Smith will foul right back in on the outside lane. You see the track rubbering up more on the top of the racetrack. Everybody trying to make the top work.
White Grande, James Vining also having to come in just now for mandatory repairs. Everybody ripping the lip. Except for Kevin Smith. He likes to be different at the bottom of the racetrack. However, Tyler King looks to try and take advantage. All the way to the back bumper. Smith playing the different lines for the defensive move. Tyler King looking to try and shove his way forward. Coming up to 24 to go.
Tyler King, Kevin Smith back off of the turn down into turn number 1. Up on the outside lane. Single file. King now back to the bottom. Gets to the left rear. Boy, he could have hooked him. He backed away. King respected Smith. That was a very gracious move he made there, JP.
How long does it last is the question. King keeping within the distance. How about experience working to get over the pass? Tyler King, much better line to the outside. Kevin Smith back to his happy place in the middle. Top slides the door, slides the nose, and chops off King to hold the spot as King charges it back.
Tries to make a battle. Oh my God, King's loose. King's fighting the truck. He got sideways. He's in the wall. Tyler King will clear him. Lawler tries to clear Smith. Smith, CLICKIT RV, damage 00. Now down to the inside. We're closing in on 20 to go and a few more laps. And Devin West is gone, by the way. Now Bloom in a Harris battle. That's a lap truck in the way of the leaders.
Yeah, Frank Harris is not looking comfortable, and all the drivers are referring to top. That's leading to frustrations. O'Hare looking to take advantage of Bloom in the wall, coming down the back straightaway now. Wrightsman to the popcorn spot. Few car length, truck length back. O'Hare trying to go for the slide job. Not able to get it fully slid. Brian Bloom holds serve for second, 20 to go.
60 laps in. 20 laps to go. 30 miles completed. Ready for the home stretch. West the leader, Bloom in second, O'Hare, Breitzman, King, top 5. And there's Bloom finding lap traffic. He was trying to fight by Harrison Moore, Justin, and now because of that, Devin West has used that to his advantage and also slamming the wall, kind of like you will a Darlington stripe, where we're going to next week, pardon the pun, to pull away from everybody and put that truck to the lead.
Yeah, everyone else having a bit of a hold up there, but battle is on for 10th. Ryan Gormley, we talked about his struggles. Because of the issue we mentioned, he's been able to take advantage of those, having to take faster pairs to still be in the top 10. Toby Ritter's looking to change that. Clifford to the inside. The big red truck going for the big red slide job. Ryan Gormley keeps his foot in it out along the cushion, but Ritter's makes it work to hold on to 10.
Ritter's now going to the 10th spot. Got himself a couple of Northwest Racing Series wins. Struggled earlier in the race. He fights and claws Clifford into a top 10 for the Win Racing team as well, battling Gormley. 17 to go, 16 at the line. Devin West the leader, Ryan Bloom second. Stephen O'Hare third. Sean Breitzman, Tyler King, your top 5. They're in turn 1, Justin.
A lot of drivers ripping that lip for the most part right now. Breitzman still trying to find a way to close up to O'Hare. O'Hare going through some of the slick now, trying to see if he can try something different. Breitzman tries the standard, goes for the cross. Up down the front straightaway, Breitzman trying to position towards the inside. Now takes the peek under O'Hare. O'Hare plays the defense. Now John Ottenbacher's to deal with in terms of lap traffic. Ottenbacher staying up top. This will force them to the bottom.
15, now make it 14 to go when they come to the line. There goes more lap traffic. Ottenbacher, he is 1 lap down. If we were to get a caution, he would get the wave over the free pass. 14 to go. West the leader, there's O'Hare. Battling with Breitzman. This is for third. They've lost sight of West and Bloom. And Bloom's lost sight of West the leader. Could things be settling down, Justin? That's the question. 13 to go at the line.
Oh, it never settles down in the dirt side. It may look it right now, but the way things are trending, not so much, because O'Hare and Breitzman still keeping things in. I was also going to say Ryan Bloom is starting to find some tempo again. There is a hornet's nest in front of the leaders. Breitzman looking for the slider for third again. Looking up to Devin West. Meanwhile, he has Ryan Gormley up in front. He has Ritters and Ledbetter fighting for 9th in front. All this happening that could pay dividends for Ryan Bloom if Bloom reaches them in the right spots and West doesn't.
12 laps to go. Ledbetter up on the outside. Here comes now Ritters. They battle again now. This is for 9th. Ledbetter opens the door inside. Ritters, coming through. Big smile on Clifford's face on the door panel of the 23. Damaged and battered and bruised. He's still in the top 10 and 9th with it coming to 10 to go.
Hold on for now. Battered and bruised for third is O'Hare's right side. Breitzman clattering the wall. O'Hare looking to close the door, nearly slammed, but instead the toe kept in. Frank Harris has crashed. Harris has crashed and the caution is out.
The yellow will fly with 10 laps to go here at the finish.
And Kevin Smith along with with Lauder were involved as well. Lauder blown motor. Frank Harris,
Oh, wow.
the cause of the caution. As we take a look at the replay, it's in turn 1. It's a ricochet effect, Wesley. Because Harris was trying to get to the bottom for the traffic, got loose on the entry, goes right back up for the path, and Kevin Smith trying to avoid the 11, slides around and spins around.
He might have avoided the 11 Ford of Harris, but then in the return, Kevin Smith turns him own self into the back end of the truck, into the Armco barrier in turn number 1. We're under yellow flag with 10 laps to go. We're also closing in on the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification. The finish on deck from Knoxville. This is the dirt race with the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV on CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
You cut the promo. Welcome back. Charles Wooten in the production chair. Justin Prince, I'm Wesley Outland. Thank you to you and yours tuning in wherever you are. The best virtual pavement drivers of the Pacific Northwest of iRacing, now battling one time a year on the clay. And it's at Knoxville, baby. And Justin, this race has just heated up again with 10 remaining.
About 9 laps to decide it when we take the green flag. Devin West has been clattering the right side of the truck. That's going to impact the handling. Not as much damage for Ryan Bloom. O'Hare, he's been clattering both sides of the truck, trying to keep up amongst the top 3 in the midst of this fight. This could get intriguing as now it looks like, because we're inside 10 to go, it's the single file. This could change it.
That's right. Single file restart under 10 remaining. And still a chance at overtime if need be, but it's a single file start with 9 to go. I wonder how long they'll stay single file. And again, Devin West, great restart. Look at O'Hare running the wall. Look at Dennis Moore slamming the wall. We still stay green in the 3, JP.
Everybody near it clattering the wall. Devin West taking off by 4/10. Brightsman taking off up into the wall. Brightsman way back, losing tons of ground. Brightsman spins it. Brightsman, he spins it out. The caution flag is out. Dennis Moore collected. And I think it's an important note here. I think it's important to note, I was about to say, Wesley, out of the corner, he was trying to clear a black flag for a couple drivers off the restart. I think that inadvertently may have sparked it.
And did you see Toby Ritters just staying to the inside and passing trucks one by one? Wow.
Yeah. Ritters jumped up to 6th after all that. Yeah. Actually, 5th.
Sure did. He's in 5th.
Yeah. Took advantage of that mistake in that entire sequence.
Amazing.
But it's a tough situation for Brightsman having to come in. It looks like he tried to just use the fast repair but couldn't. But for the time being, though, another chance for everybody to see if they can time up the gas to be able to size up the 5 for a restart.
So I'm understanding that James Vining got a penalty, and Dan Lowther, if you will, wall-meloned or chastained Stabnow is what the conversations are right now, Justin.
Remember, there was a crash under green that did not trigger a caution flag. I think that's involving that one. Again, half the field crashed under caution with no caution. And we stayed green in the sequence. Meanwhile, Jaden Ledbetter, I believe, is now out of the truck after he's blown a motor.
Devin West is now your new leader. Again, he's still the leader, by the way. Here's Jeff Stabnow back in the game. Back on the lead lap. Oh, Jeff Stab now again back on the lead lap. He struggles on the dirt, for sure. He's just trying to somehow get a top 10 out of the deal. By the way, 11 trucks now on the lead lap. Jaden Ledbetter, I think, is going to probably go back to a lap down. In Odenbacher will now be the first truck 1 lap down, I believe. So, well, Justin, we're not done. That's for sure.
I don't think we're done quite yet, but Devin West only has 7 more circuits to try and close it out, and Ryan Bloom's already trying to get to the bumper before we even get to the start box.
Well, we'll try to get this back going again here. All right, let's see what happens, Justin. We're backing away. Can Devin West hold them off? 7 to go at the line.
Devin West with a much better launch compared to the last time. Just to say that, everyone rides the wall. Ryan Bloom gains 3 car lengths, riding the cushion. O'Hare all the way to the bottom of the racetrack for 3rd. Trying to hold off his teammate Tyler King. Races on for the battle for the win, though. Bloom staying close within a car truck length. O'Hare getting loose behind.
And Ritters is on the bottom of the racetrack. He is trying all he can to get around King, the champion of last year. O'Hare in the 41. All of this going on now with Devin West still up in front. West the leader, Bloom, and there's the battle now. Ritters powers with the King. This is for 3rd. This is for 3rd and 4th. 5 to go.
4.5. Down to 4.5 laps to go. Lowther getting dicey with more behind. Ritters trying to go the short distance around. Slide job more into the wall. Lowther tries to cross it. Lowther able to cross back up more. Now down to the final 3 or so laps next time by.
On the battle of the inside, King and O'Hare, they continue the battle now. He's trying to get into that 3rd spot to be on the podium right now. The top 2 pulling away of West and Bloom. 4 to go. Now coming to 3 to go at the line here at Knoxville. And there's King in the wall again. He's not wavering, though, for Beaver State Racing. He battles the win race in 23. Down to the line, 3 to go at Knoxville in the dirt race.
Getting stirred before the... Oh,
no
the
caution,
trouble,
Justin,
I think...
No caution.
Few drivers are smacking the wall hard, but no drivers around for now. Ritters trying to find a way still to 4th. King to the wall. Ritters still keeping his distance from it. 2 laps to go from Knoxville down to a final mile.
In the regular distance of this race, might I add, there's still an opportunity if we get a caution for 3 attempts. But if they take the white flag, this is over. Devin West is trying to make that become a reality off of turn number 4. He sees the white flag. Justin, 1 more lap to go in the dirt race at Knoxville.
Bloom tries to angle it right up to the cushion. West trying to diamond off the corner to the back straightaway. 1 more chance for Bloom. Can he try and send it? He tries to send it from the top. West sticks to the cushion. Bloom can't get there coming out of turn 4.
Coming down to the line, Devin West will do it again. He wins the dirt race at Knoxville of 2023. He's won it before. He's won Bristol. He's Eldora. And by the way, his first win of the season as well for the number 5 of Shelton, Washington. Do the math, Justin Prince. Besides Ryan Bloom, you have now 7 different winners in 8 races of 2023.
An incredible season as well.
Okay, who are you?
It looks. That would be Toby Ritters. Everybody doesn't want burnouts, they want crashes, apparently, and Toby Ritters is stuck in the wall.
Even on the dirt, we do the Northwest high five salute. Wow.
Well,
boy, oh boy, man, oh man. What a race. What a race, Justin. Entertaining, had its share of cautions, but in the end, see, this is when the pyro should be flying through the air. right now.
I think we used them all. We used them for the green flag. We used them when the green flag flew so everyone could hear them for the first 15 laps.
I heard that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the unofficial results presented by LiveSimRacingTV.com for the Northwest Truck Series Season 10, Round 8 tonight, presented by CLICKIT RV. Devin West, the winner. Ryan Bloom, second. Stephen O'Hare, third. Tyler King is fourth. Toby Ritters with an attaboy for Clifford. I would say he would be the hard charger of the race. The scrapper gets a top 5. Dennis Moore, 6th. Dan Lowther, 7th. Good run for him. But Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, be proud on the dirt where he normally struggles, a top 10. And Ryan Gormley, the Dover winner, won last week. The 22 rookie gets a top 10 as well on the lead lap. 10 trucks on the lead lap when the checker fell. Justin.
John Allenbacher, the only driver, lap down in 11th. Kevin Smith, 2 laps down in 12th. Frank Harris, after multiple cautions, 13 laps down. Jaden Ledbetter, after blowing the motor, finishing 14th, 8 laps down. In contact with Sean Brightsman, James Vining finishing 15th. That's the DNFs. Roy Grande finishes 16th, also a DNF with BJ Tidrick. Chris Kynes and Aaron Cooper, the last of those to take the green. Ron Hunter, Scott Hutchison took part in qualifying and or the heat races, but did not take part in the feature.
Yeah, tough break there again for Ron Hunter, and again, Scott Hutchinson trying to attend the race when it's all said and done here at the virtual sprint car capital of the world at Knoxville Raceway. Real quickly, last time we'll take a look at the Virginia811.com call before you dig with care caution summary. There was a lot of them. 9 cautions, no caution laps counted, and 9 lead changes. Boy, that race was entertaining down the stretch, especially after halfway. The fireworks really began. Again, that's brought to you by Brian Morehouse, my buddy at NASCAR, and Virginia811.com, reminding you to call before you dig. Dig with care. Coming up, the post-race wrap-up. Devin West, Ryan Bloom, Stephen O'Hare, they're all on deck. Notables to Tyler King and especially Toby Ritters in a top 5 finish, but we'll talk to the podium in just a moment with Justin and myself. Stick around. This is coverage of the Northwest Racing Series trucks presented by CLICKIT RV, the dirt race at Knoxville, iRacing on LSRTV, and CRN, the Community Radio Network. Welcome back to Knoxville, the dirt race of the Northwest in the books for 2023 for the trucks. Justin Prince, I'm Wesley Outland. Welcome back to our coverage. iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. We'll wrap it up here in just a moment and get you ready for Darlington next week for round number 9. But first, we'll talk to the podium. Stephen O'Hare, just wild, unpredictable. The wall, was that your friend, it seemed like, for most of the races? It's kind of like ironic that we're slamming the wall like Darlington for Knoxville, and we're going to Darlington next week on the pavement where you're famous for having to use the wall as a friend to make passes.
I don't know if it's a friend. I think it's just a product of necessity.
Why was that tonight?
I mean, the track slicked out pretty quick, so pretty much the only way around was running that high line, and it was pretty bumpy up there, so I think by the time you got the truck pitched, you hit that bump, and from there you're hoping the wall was going to be kind.
I use the term catfishing on the bottom, obviously down to the inside. And as you said, Stefan, that wasn't the case tonight, man. Segue this also into thanking your sponsors in closing. Why do you think that was? Why did it seem like the outside was the way to race?
Well, I think that's just what the track dictated. We'll take it. It was a good points night for us. Congratulations to Devin. Pretty stellar there on the dirt. Great win for him. I'd like to thank Nicole Brand Photography, of course, Beaver State Racing, and incredible teammates. The Northwest Racing Series, I think, we've seen with even tonight, but tonight aside, just incredible improvement, great racing so far this season. So looking forward to that continuing, and certainly thank you guys at LSRTV for airing this and allowing everybody to watch all the great racing.
Yes, 7 out of 8 races so far. The 8 races of the 2023 calendar for Season 10 of the Trucks of the Northwest, presented by CLICKIT RV. And again, Stephen O'Hare will have another good day in the points. He'll climb up 3 spots in the points and be now 6th. And again, he's got a win, by the way, earlier in the year. Again, Stephen O'Hare, podium in 3rd. 2nd spot, Ryan Bloom. Ryan, man, you looked like you were the fastest truck in practice. You put down the fast qualifying lap. You won your heat race, but, man, you and Devin West had a gut of war there battling on the clay. Your take of being on the podium. Nothing wrong with silver.
No, not at all. Devin is obviously one of the strongest dirt racers in our league. I think I had like a 4.5 second lead at one point, but I knew that meant nothing. As soon as that caution came out and we grouped back up, I knew he would be pretty stout there. And I don't know, I really struggled on the restart, so I was giving up ground every time on the restart, and the caution certainly didn't help. That just couldn't get in a rhythm, and I felt like once I kind of got in a rhythm, I kind of hung with them, maybe even was gaining on him a little bit, and the caution came out. But all in all, I think I definitely showed improvement over last season in the dirt stuff. So the Thursday Night League definitely helps, just with managing throttle control and just kind of getting that practice in before this race. And even though they drive completely different, still by managing that throttle, and I just a little over throttled there and coming out of the corners a couple times there, a little too aggressive. But all in all, great night. Congrats to Devin. He's just awesome on these dirt tracks, so I knew it would be a tough night, but happy with the second. Good points night.
Mentioned a lot in terms of what you've learned, the characteristics, etc. But one thing that I did hear and did not hear was, again, the flip of the script with the caution flag, where you mentioned you felt like there was still a chance for Devin West before the caution. What, in your opinion, makes it more difficult to run on a more worn-in track, or worn-out track, I should say, compared to the very fresh track that seemed to play that major difference in the later stages?
Yeah, it's just that the top is just the dominant line. I tried the bottom a few times. It was just no good, especially for me. I think one thing I probably wish I would have done a little different is maybe get on that cushion a little bit more, practice or whatnot, just up against that wall. Devin did a really good job of just riding that cushion and against the wall. He was picking up time on me. I kind of did figure it out there in the little bit in the middle there, but then kind of had that flurry of cautions and kind of threw off everything. But no excuse. I just got to get better in restarts and kind of getting in my groove a little quicker. It's tough, man. It's slick. It's you really got to be good on the throttle. If you're just spinning your tires, you're just not going to go anywhere. So it's definitely an improvement, but obviously got a little bit more to gain on that area.
All right, Ron, well, I'll tell you what, bud, you still got 2 wins in the year, and segue this and thanking your sponsor. So, I mean, in retrospect, getting out of here with a podium is a good thing, but obviously it's better to have a solid top 3 finish than being caught up in an accident or wrecked out, not able to finish on the points day. But, I mean, everything resets, though, whenever you go into the postseason for the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun just running up front, and we do this for fun. But I can tell you, winning's a lot more fun than just riding in the back or getting top 10s. You just kind of like that feeling of getting those wins. So it just becomes even more motivating, really, to try to get those wins and stack up bonus points. And it's just fun to see my name up there on the leaderboard and have the most wins. So. No, just keep on working, and like you said, playoffs restart, reset, and we'll have to refocus and make sure our sets are good to go once the playoffs start. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm happy with the results so far through the season. As far as sponsors go, CLICKIT RV, thanks again for having them come on board and sponsoring our truck and team. And LSRTV, great job by you guys. Always a good time for broadcasts, and just another shout out to Jeff and Sean for putting on this league. A lot of fun.
There you go. There's the thoughts again of Ryan Bloom, the driver out of Boise, Idaho, will settle for the number 2 spot for Win Racing and Bomb Speed. There you go to victory lane. Driver of the number 5, of course, not a guy that's here a lot because of obviously his full-time work and racing obligations. The driver to Shelton, Washington, picking up the win. First win this year, by the way, to make him now 7 different winners in 8 races. But he's also, again, right now back in 23rd of the point standings. When it all shuffles out, Ryan Bloom's going to come away with a point lead here with a solid podium in second. Like a moment ago, we talked to him. Devin, another win, man. I said this. You are the dirt king of the Northwest, whether it's Knoxville, Bristol, Eldora, dirt, trucks on pavement, doesn't matter, the cup cars on dirt. You've done it. Congratulations to you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely a crazy night. I didn't get any practice in for this race just because of school and just other priorities. I mean, I even showed up late tonight, and I knew Ryan was going to be tough. Ryan has been tough in these dirt races the last year or so. I mean, Ryan's good everywhere. He always seems to stand out quite a bit in these dirt tracks. So, yeah, honestly, I made a mistake around lap 35, and I found a line up on that wall, and somehow it stuck, and I got on Ryan. And I truly believe that that's the only reason why I won this race. I think I was out front those last 50 laps. I pretty much had it because it's just so hard to pass. The only place you could run was the top, and that's all. That was really your only option. So.
Well, I asked the question to Ryan Bloom in terms of the flip of the script tonight. Kind of what was going through the mind once that 4-second difference Bloom had was evaporated, then it opened your floodgates up or chances to take the race lead. What was kind of going through your mind from the inverse of fresher track to more worn-in track?
Yeah, like I said, I hadn't driven a worn-in track at all. So as the race went on, I was seeing a track wear that I was unfamiliar with, so I really didn't know what my truck was going to do. I set it up just knowing the track would go slick in some sort of way. I ended up going way too tight. Truck was good. Jeff gave me a good setup, and I kind of ruined it. So, but fortunately, it was still good enough. Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. It was a weird track. Like I said to Jeff and Sean and the whole team, that was one of the craziest berms I've ever driven. I mean, it was. I really had no idea what my truck was going to do going to the corner every single lap.
Al, you stole my final question. I was going to ask you to segue that into your sponsors, because I was going to ask you, was this probably one of the wildest races that you've ever ran on the dirt on the iRacing sim, and how wore out are you?
I'm not too wore out. This thing, you can get it to drive itself in the corner. You can get it set right. The corner will be piece of cake, but problem is getting it set right was so difficult tonight. I don't know. I'll go back and watch replay and look at that berm closer, but I felt like I go in the corner, I feel like I had it, and then all of a sudden I was, all 4 wheels on top of the wall. So, yeah, I definitely felt like the sloppiest race I've ever driven, but I think just the nature of the track, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's cool to see this dirt stuff becoming more and more realistic through real life. So it's kind of cool.
All right, buddy. Well, man, thank those sponsors again. Big win for you, bud, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, obviously CLICKIT RV sponsoring the series. It's always pretty cool. Keeps us going. And Jeff and Sean for putting it on. You guys for broadcasting it. Always, like I say, ton of fun to go back and watch it. And then my sponsors, Effective Web Solutions, Kinetic Custom Hardwood, Motorsports Distributing, and then I don't know if they're still watching, but Grandma, Grandpa, hello. Thank you for sending me a text saying good job. I appreciate that.
There's the driver from Shelton, Washington. Again, you can check him out at the real dirt tracks across the Northwest, as well as his dad, DWJ, Dan West Jr., two-time truck champion, and Devin West picking up a win. Again, 7 different winners of 8 races. Hey, the points have officially shuffled, Justin, in closing. Ryan Bloom, again, will be the points leader when we wrap it up here tonight at Knoxville, going ready to go to Darlington next Monday night for round number 9. Ryan Bloom has a 36-point lead over Dennis Moore. 37 back is Ryan Gormley, who both climbed a couple of spots. Toby Ritters has climbed into a tie with also Ryan Gormley there in the points as well. Jeff Stapp now 5th. Stefano Harris 6th. Dan Lowther, John Onnebacher, Tyler King, Sean Brightsman, and Christopher White also tied for 10th. In closing, Justin, great race. You got to love the dirt at Knoxville. Always fun, man. Your final thoughts as we get ready for Darlington.
It was a tale of 2 races, it seemed, from the first half to the second half. Despite what was said there, it seemed, when it comes to Ryan Bloom, he absolutely had a hot run in the first half of the race on the fresher track. But I think that caution, as I said, allowed the opportunity for Devin West to regroup, allowed the chance for him to pull off and away, and allowed him the chance to be able to run away. In turn with that second half of the event tonight. It was that difference of the cautions, though, I think that played to the advantage of West in the end.
Well, the series will head to Darlington next week. Remember, the Northwest CLICKIT in action at Dover Motor Speedway on Wednesday night. Also, don't forget the next event will be on Tuesday night for the LSRTV broadcast crew at Volusia for that Road to Pro Dirt Super Late Model Qualifier with Robinson Promotions and the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League. And then, of course, also the Northwest Dirt Series on Thursday night as well. All that cool things going on this week. And iRacing, LSRTV, LiveSimRacingTV.com, Community Radio Network at CRN Sports, and we are CRN.com. For Jeff Stapp now, Charles Booten, everybody at Rocket Racing Media. Justin Prince, I'm Wesley Outland. Good night from the virtual Knoxville Raceway, and congratulations to Devin West, the King of Dirt.